Beaucastel is organic growing, even biodynamic since a long time, since the 70s. And, Beaucastel is very traditional, with a lot of Mourvèdre. We produce a white and a red, and two great cuvées, Roussanne in white and Hommage à Jacques Perrin in red. Beaucastel is known for the two main grapes. In white is a Roussanne, and in red is a Mourvèdre,
which is not
common.
It's
not common. Why? I think because the best wine in the world that they produce at the north limit of the culture. Because to do something different, you need to have a hard time. And the maturity is not easy to do with a Roussanne or with a Mourvèdre. But when the maturity is there, you are able to produce a great thing. You need to all time to be on a border, to be genius, to be crazy. It's often very close. And to produce a wine, it's exactly the same. You need all time to be on a border and to do something with difficulty. If you do something with the easy way, you produce something good, but never something great. It's Beaucastel. After that, we developed different vineyards all along the Rhone River. And in 70, with my brother, we decided to produce a wine called La Vieille Ferme. It was completely different of Beaucastel because we want to produce a daily wine, a very good wine, but very, very easy to drink for all the day, for every day. And we decided to produce La Vieille Ferme wine and La Vieille Ferme red. And during few years, it's going well, but slowly the brand will increase. And today La Vieille Ferme with a daily wine, a Rhone style wine, come from to the Rhone. Formerly was from Mont Ventoux, but the quantity was big today and is come from to Vin de France, but with Mediterranean spirit.
Okay.
And this is La Vieille Ferme. It's La Vieille Ferme is going very well with all the Mediterranean food. It's not a complex wine, but a very good, very, very pleasant wine. And also, we produce today rosé wine, and the rosé and La Vieille Ferme become one of the best value in the world, and the quantity and the best sell even in a state.
Very good.
And it's a good success. And slowly we develop also different vineyard all around the Rhone Valley with a brand called Famille Perrin Gigondas, Famille Perrin Vaqueras. That means different vineyard, very, very small vineyard, but very good quality, but all time in a Rhone style. And roughly 15 years ago, when the Jaboulet sells the company, we are very, very close with the family Jaboulet and Nicolas, excuse me. Nicolas Jaboulet come and say, the family sells the brand, but I want to do something in the north. And we say, we are ready to do with you, Nicolas. And we beginning slowly to find some different vineyards, mostly in Croix-Hermitage and Saint-Joseph. And we found Domaine Les Alexandrins with Nicolas Jaboulet, and a small business négociant called Maison Les Alexandrins. Domaine Les Alexandrins, we own the vineyard, and Maison Alexandrins, we bought the grapes.
Good.
And we produce different wine, in the north of the Rhone, mostly in the red with the Syrah, and in the white, Condrieu with the Viognier, and Hermitage with Marsanne Roussin. And roughly 10 years ago, one day we have a Brad Pitt come at Beaucastel. He say, "May I come?" Okay, Brad. Okay, with pleasure. And he say, "I bought Miraval. It's a castle in Provence." And I have some troubles because it's not my job, but I know the wine of Beaucastel. I know the quality of the wines I produce. Can you help me? And we say to Brad, Brad, we are not consultant. It's not a job. But if you want to do something, we can do something with a partnership. And he say, okay. And we are doing a partnership 50-50 with Brad and Angelina. And he owns the chateau. And we have a partnership on producing wine and on the sales of wine. And slowly, the umbrella family Perrin is growing. And today, managed by the fifth generation, that means my son and my nephew and my niece. There are 7 to be at the top of these different estates. And it's a good thing.
Miraval was the first venture outside home.
Yes, we have a venture in California.
Yes, of course.
At Tablas Creek with our importer of Roberas was the founder of a company called Vinho brands. And since the 90s, we decided to produce a wine in California in our own style. And we found a piece of land in Paso Robles. At this time, there are no vineyard in Paso Robles. And we decided to create this domain with the grapes of Beaucastel. And slowly, we import the wood of Beaucastel. And we create this domain with the roots of Beaucastel. And it's good success. It was the second partnership in the family.
Very good. But inside, reframing my question, inside in France,
it's the first.
Miraval has been the first to venture outside. And instead of going to the Bordeaux or Burgundy regions, you decided to go to Provence.
To Provence, because it's a natural way, it's the same philosophy, it's a Mediterranean, and it's not far away, just 120 kilometers from Beaucastel.
Absolutely.
It's a 1 hour driving, it's nothing.
What, in my opinion, wine in general, I'm not talking about Chateau de Beaucastel, which is very famous and this kind of thing, but Rhone represents a very good opportunity for buyers right now because they have quality, but
it's not the same price.
It's not the same price.
It's true. It's at this time the Rhone it's one of the best value even in the world because the price are not cheap, but it's not too expensive, and you are able to drink a good bottle of wine at a good price. And the quality of Rhone is incredible because the people make a lot of effort. The people, formerly the Rhone, you have appellation like Châteauneuf-du-Pape, you have appellation like Hermitage, you have appellation like Côte-Rôtie. All times they produce a good wine. But formerly, the vineyard was very large, and the people produce a lot of quantity of wine. But since the 70s, the people understand they have something in their hand, and they can produce a very good wine. And today, the production, the quality of the production increased a lot. Even in Côte d'Ivoire generic, in Côte d'Ivoire, and when you can find a bottle of Côte d'Ivoire, the quality is better than 50 years ago.
Very good. This is what I think. It's a mass production region that is becoming much more focused on quality. I didn't know that it was all across the board. I had in my mind yet that you needed to go for good producers in order to find the best. But
the new generation understands that the production is not the good way for the future, because wine is alcohol. The world don't want alcohol, but the world want to have a wine with quality, a sort of wine to bring the culture of the country where it's born. And they have a lot of change in the Rhone Valley, not in appellation, in cru appellation, but in general.
Very good, very good. Good to know that.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something. How is to be a partner of Brad Pitt? When you go to the street together, people run after you and this kind of thing.
No, Brad is it's very interesting because he's very clever. It's very, he likes to understand everything of the winemaking, and he's very involved in a business. When we do something, we take care of the vineyard, we take care of the winemaking, everything. But he like to know, and when we explain what we want to do, all time he's agree, and he's very, very, very helpful. But when you arrive on the market and when you say it's a wine of Brad Pitt, it's easier to sell than to say it's a wine of Perrin. But he's very, very, very kind.
And now you have a new project coming up.
A new product, yes, we have a new product because we produce Miraval. Miraval, it's a rosé from Provence, only from Provence. But we produce also a second wine called Studio, because in Miraval you have a studio of enregistrement, of recording.
Okay.
It's very, and it was a very old recording studio, and the Pink Floyd, the Sting, a lot of people recording a disc here, and Brad decided to remodel the studio, and he want to have some artists to come in Miraval to recording again, and is the reason why we create a wine of studio, but the wine of studio, it's IGP Méditerranée. That means the vineyard is more large, and we are able to have more wines that we have in the Miraval Provence.
Okay.
It's the second project. And the third project, it's a champagne, because we do a partnership with Brad, Pitt, Perrin, and Peters. Peters is Rodolphe Peters. It's a man who produce Pierre Peters champagne. And Pierre Peters, Rodolphe, have a vineyard in Champagne. And we decide to create a rosé called Fleur de Miraval. And Fleur de Miraval, it's an exclusive, only rosé producer. The quantity of production is very small, because we produce only 10,000 bottles a year, no more. And it's made a little special because we have three parts. We have one part of champagne. It's come from to the sort of solera. That means that we have big barrels, and each year we take a part of this wine. Another part, it's what we call on the lat, that we bring some old champagne and we mix with the solera, and we produce some Pinot very young to have a rosé, and it's a mix of this three part to produce a Fleur de Miraval exclusively rosé.
Okay. Is it a vintage wine only, or no? It's
No. We called ER1 or ER2, exclusivement rosé 1, exclusivement rosé 2. And we have the two, now we are ER2, that's it. Nice. And after we have ER3 and ER4, that's it. But without, because it's a blending of different years.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Yeah.
And it's a champagne where you have the character, the elegance of champagne mature, but with the freshness of the Pinot Noir young.
I kind of remember that one of the motivations to go to Champagne was the intention of Brad Pitt to create the willingness to create a great wine.
Exactly.
And you told him that it would not happen with a rosé.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, it's true.
And how did you come up with the champagne?
Because we are very close to Peters, to Rodolphe. He's a friend of the family, mostly of the new generation, because he has the same age of my nephew and my son. Okay. They are very close. They know each very well. He is a friend of the family, and he know about the champagne, and we know about the rosé.
Very good.
And it's a good match together. And with the pit is a good thing too.
Very good, very good. And it improves the portfolio in the right direction as well.
Exactly. And Brad want to produce a champagne, a great champagne. It was the champagne of the Oscar 2 days ago. Yes, and it was the champagne of the Oscar, and it was good.
Are you going to bring it to Brazil as well, a little bit?
Yes, a little bit, but just a few quantity, because the quantity is very small.
Very good. Do you have plans to increase? Do you have plans? No, but you have physical conditions to increase in terms of wines?
In quantity, no. We want to keep very small. We produce 10,000 bottles a year at this time. In the future, we don't know, but we need to buy some land, or we don't need to buy some land. But in Champagne, it's very difficult. But we want to keep a small maison de champagne. We don't want to increase a lot. We are able to increase the rosé in Provence or in studio.
This is great.
But it's great, and the rosé is a very UP wine today, because the world entire drink of rosé. I think it's incredible the increase of the rosé. For the Brazil, I think it's just the beginning. Yeah. Just the beginning, but it seems to be the people need to be interested by the rosé, because it's a wine, it's easy wine, and it's the rosé. It's a young wine. It's for the young wine, for the young generation.
I think so, but I really feel that Brazilians are, in terms of quality wines, are jumping much more into white wines than rosé in this moment. Yeah. There is I'm trying to understand if rosé is a niche or if it's a tendency here in Brazil. I'm not sure yet. Of course, that we are perceiving more and more people drink quality rosés in here, but not in the same movement and the same fashion that you feel in UK or US or this kind of thing.
But it's the beginning, and the young people beginning to drink rosé, and they are interested in the quality, and it's a good starter to understand the wine.
Yes, I think so. Well, it's great. Can you tell me anything that I missed in this conversation?
No. What else? I think in the wine business, you have two sorts of wine, perhaps. You have a wine of terroir. That means terroir, for me, it's four things. It's the soil, sure, the geology, the climate with the soil, the grapes with the soil, and but with the man. And this four things, when the match is very good, we are able to produce vin de terroir. Vin de terroir is the wine that we produce in Beaucastel. the ones that we produce in Domaine des Alexandrins, the wine that we produce for Domaine Les Perrins, Clos des Tourelles, different wine with a different terroir. And the capacity of this one from the terroir, it's aging. It's good to rest in the cellar because with the age, the wine is growing. And you have two sorts of wine. A wine for the pleasure is a style of wine of La Vieille Ferme. Even the wine of studio, it's a wine of pleasure, but it's a wine to enjoy it. But it's not a wine to age. And you have today in the wine business, these two sorts of wine. But the first is the terroir. The second, the technique is more important. But the two parts, it's for enjoy. But it's completely different things.
Well, can you tell me a little bit what the challenges of the last two vintages in France in general?
Yes, the two vintage, great vintage, one 2020. Everything was perfect. We have a very good vintage in quality and quantity. In 2001, we have some frost problem in France, and the quality it's good, but the quantity is very small. And for the future, we are a little afraid about the price because the inflation become even in Europe. It's difficult to find some empty bottle. It's difficult to find some label, and it seems to be very, very difficult for the future to keep to keep the price. And my only problem for the future, it seems to be difficult to keep the price that we have today.
Okay.
The inflation become. That's it.
We have been experiencing inflationary pressure due to bigger demand in Asia, and it was the challenge 1 decade ago. And right now we are moving to another kind of price pressure that comes from logistics and
everything is going well. The petrol, and we don't know exactly. It's only the problem for the future.
And how is it? How is happening with this fifth generation that's taking care of the business right now? It's a challenging moment for them as well.
I think it's we think about the global warming.
Okay,
it's one of the things that are.
I will put this closer to you, so
yeah.
To get less.
Yes, it's a big challenge. We try a lot of things. We in the Rhone Valley, we are happy because we have different grapes.
And you are more in the north.
Yes, and more in the north.
In the
region, and also we try to found a vineyard in a mountain.
Okay.
Because we say that when we have a vineyard in altitude of 100 meters, is like 100 kilometers in the north, roughly. That means that Vin Sobre, we have a vineyard at roughly 400 meters, 500 meters. That means that we are in the north of 400 or 500 kilometers from the north of France. And it's cooler. This is a big challenge. The rootstock also, it's a big challenge for the global warming and the different grapes.
Very good. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Christian.
A pleasure, and I hope we are going to drink some wines later on.
Okay.
I'll see you in a short.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.